Hi guys, and welcome back to Reads Readers with your host, Clinton Reed. And today, I'm bringing with me my top 21 of 2021. I was going to do a top 10, but there's just so many I want to talk about. So let's just get into this, because I know you guys are super excited. This is the one video you guys really want. And by the way, I don't know what the hell my hair's been doing lately. I need a haircut, so just ignore that. But yes, and probably some of y'all can probably figure out my top 5 super gay books. But like I did in my awards show, I'm only gonna sum it up shortly, because we've got 21 to go through, and I don't want to be here for ever. And most of the time, you guys probably have already heard about most of these. Now I have a little chair here, and I have a chair here with everything on it. So let's just get to it. I don't know what that was, so. And coming in number 21 slot is the only classic I read this year. I think I may have read another one. I don't know. But 101 Dalmatians by Dodie Smith. Don't know what 101 Dalmatians is? Do you like Disney? And if you don't, why the are you here? Kidding. But this is just the YA novel that the Disney movie 101 Dalmatians is about, with the 101 Dalmatian puppies, or the 101 Dalmatians and Cruella de Vil. I didn't expect me to love this as much as I did. Currently, this is my favorite children's classic I have ever read. This is really close with Wizard of Oz for me. This actually beat Wizard of Oz, and I'm a huge Wizard of Oz fan. But 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely love it. It deserved to be on this list. As I kept looking through my list, I kept getting lower and lower, but I'm glad it stayed on my top 21. I read quite a bit of good books this year, so. Because again, my reading year is from December to November. And read it. Coming in number 20. Or is it 20? Whatever. Spot 20 goes to Dick Fight Island. Volume 1 by Raybun Ike. Bunch of guys fight to the death to become king. Fight to the death. My ass. First one to come loses. Read it for shits and giggles. Oh, nope. This one is not an NCT. Quick. That's all you get. Go get it. Love it. It's amazing. In number 19 spot, which I'm so glad this made the list because I absolutely love this book and my brain kept going back to it, is Payback by Kristen Simmons, which is the third and final book in the Val Hall series, which is Deceivers, Scammed, and Payback. This is about a school for con artists, and things happen, and this was a fucking roller coaster. So, highly recommend this series, and I still recommend this series today, and I need to go back and reread this one. May reread this series in 2022. Possibly. And coming in 18 spot is the first of the romance books that are in this. Yeah, we have quite a bit of romance. Love that for me. But is Undercover Bromance by Lisa K. Adams, which is book 2 in the Bromance Book Club series. I wanted to include a bromance book, and this is my favorite of the series. I'm reading book 4 next. This is about a group of guys who read romance novels together to better understand their women. And Mac and Liv are still my favorite couple, and I will die on that hill. Actually, you don't like this person no more, person who gifted me this, I don't want to see her name. So bye. But yes, read it. You will laugh your ass off. Book 1 in that series is the Bromance Book Club. And coming in number 17 spot is an entire trilogy, but I'm only going to hold up one book. But that is the Renegades trilogy as a whole by Marissa Meyer. This is about heroes versus villains. Are the heroes really heroes, and are the villains really villains? And you follow Nova, Adrian, and a whole cast of people. And the ending of Supernova, we still thinking about it today. And rightfully so that Marissa Meyer makes it to my top 21 of 21 list, because I love Marissa Meyer's writing. I think this is my favorite Marissa Meyer series, and I would like to get, see if anybody does. I kind of want to get the American hardbacks of these, so I can have the American hardbacks and the British paperbacks, but this is by far my favorite Marissa Meyer series, and in probably in my top 10 favorite series of all time. Love, love, love. And coming in number 16's slot is Out of Character by Annabeth Albert. Book 2 in the True Colors. In her True Colors series, book 1 is Conventionally Yours, which you guys will see later on in this list. But Out of Character follows Jasper and Milo. This series literally is geeky queer rom-coms. This one has a lot of cosplaying of the game that they play in this, which is Odyssey. Yes, Odyssey. They dress up as the characters on the cards for kids at a hospital in the sick ward. This is basically two best friends turned bitter enemies, turned reluctant allies, turned something much, 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 much more. I love Jasper and I love Milo so much. They're not Conrad and Alden, but also with this book, I don't know how well you're going to see it. The frogs, how they jump on the pages. Oh, love it. I need more Annabeth in this series. Give me more, give me more, give me more. I need more of these fluffy, fluffy beans. And the smutty scenes. Ooh, child. But I highly recommend this series, which is why book 1 and book 2 made my top list. I normally don't do that, but something about this series just screams a must. Coming in number 15's slot goes to Nubia, the Real One by L.L. McKinney and Robin Smith. This is part of the graphic novels for the DC graphic novels for young adults, where they are revamping a bunch of the characters for a younger audience to introduce them to maybe get them to read more DC comics. Because Marvel's like super popular, but not a lot of people read. Like, not a lot of younger people are interested in as much into DC as there are Marvel these days because of the movies. So they're revamping these characters, and this follows Nubia, who has the same powers as Wonder Woman, and you find out she's an Amazon, and this deals with her dealing with life as a Black woman with superpowers. This tackles Black Lives Matters. It tackles queer parents, tackles identity. It attacks a lot of different things. Like, she's supposed to hide her powers, but she sees a friend in trouble and saves their life. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Here is the artwork. I highly recommend this. Also, it has an introduction by Daniel Clayton. This is just fabulous, and I highly recommend. Go check it out. In spot 14 currently? Yes. And number 14 is Take a Hint, Danny Brown, which is book 2 in the Brown Sisters series. I was going to include Chloe Brown, but my heart still lies with Danny Brown, my bisexual witch. Ugh, she's a badass. And her fake dating, friends to lovers trope with Zaf, a former rugby, with this whole Dr. Rugby. Ugh. If you have not checked out The Brown Sisters, I highly recommend. By Talia Hibbert. I am supposed to be reading Eve's book this month, which I'm hoping to get to really soon. But I highly, 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 highly recommend. Read it. I'm a mess. Have you not noticed? Coming in number 13 slot is your first Alice Oseman on this. And that is Solitaire by Alice Oseman. This follows Tori Spring and Michael Holden at school. And there's like a mystery element into this. I suggest going into Solitaire in radio silence. Very blind. Like, don't go in knowing much. Oh, it'll change your life. I'm just going to read the back because I feel like that sums this up better than I can. My name is Tori Spring. I like to sleep and I like to blog. Last year I had friends. Things were very different, I guess. But that's all over now. Now there's Solitaire and Michael Holden. I don't know what Solitaire are trying to do, and I don't care about Michael Holden. I really, really don't. And this follows Charlie from Heartstopper's sister. And oh my god, I love it so much. Coming in number 12 spot, I had to bring all three, is the Teen Titans graphic novel series for young adults. Starting with Teen Titans Raven, Teen Titans Beast Boy, and then Beast Boy Loves Raven. This series, I have never seen Teen Titans done so beautifully. Like, Teen Titans Raven was my number 1 favorite book of the year for like several months. Up until I started reading some of these, and this got bumped and bumped and bumped. But this series is so good. I highly recommend it. Especially if you've never read anything with the Teen Titans in it, or if you're a huge fan of the cartoon that we all grew up with. This is the best rendition of them I think I've ever read. And I cannot wait for Robin's book to come out in 2023. I'm hoping it gets pushed up a little bit in 2022, but I'm super excited. Ooh. And in number 11 slot goes to probably my favorite thriller of the year, or thriller series, is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I need book 3 now. Like, now. This series follows Avery as she inherits billions and billions of dollars from a guy she's never met. There are puzzles. There are clues. There's a scavenger hunt. And book 2 just hypes it all up. So all I'm going to say is go into it. She came from nothing. They have everything. Let the games begin. Read it. It's kind of hard for me to talk about these when all I've been doing is talking about all these books all year on this channel. So all I can say is read it. Peace. So now we're to our top 10 of the year. quite a few are queer. Like, listen. Yeah. Yeah. So in our number 10 slot goes to Perfect on Paper by Sophie Gonzalez. I read this earlier this year for Season-a-thon. Then we read this for fall into reading-a-thon. It's not quite that long ago. But this follows a girl named Darcy who has an advice columnist out of a locker. It's anonymous. No one knows who she is until a boy spies and then blackmails her into trying to get him to get back with his girlfriend. Oh, and did I mention she's in love with her best friend, who's a girl? Love this. The bisexuality is amazing. The sapphicness in this, everything. There's a discussion in here about internal biphobia, which is the best thing I think I've ever read on that type of a topic. Internalized homophobia of any kind. Biphobia, lesbophobia, panphobia, any of the internalized phobias that you have against your own sexualities. This is the greatest conversations. I think this one and the next book should be taught in schools. Just saying. And coming in number 9 slot is Felix Ever After by Kason Callender, which follows a trans boy at an art school as he comes to terms with his own identity. And there he gets outed, like dead named. Well, not quite dead named, but his pictures of him pre-transition pictures were posted everywhere at the school, and there's an underlining of hunting who did it. So read it. That's all I knew going into it, and I feel like that's all anyone needs to know. Like I said, I don't sum up books that well. Coming in number 8 slot is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Who's shocked? Not me. Actually, I'm kind of shocked this isn't a little bit higher up, but I read some good things this year. This follows a girl named Addie LaRue who makes a deal with the devil to live forever. Drawback of that is once someone turns their back from her, they forget her and never remember who she is. Until she meets a boy in a bookstore who remembers her name and remembers her and the love story that ensues. Oh, this is like a warm hug. I need to reread it soon. Oh, I love this so much. Just read it. Just read it. Just read it. All I'm going to say on all of these is just read it. Just read it. Just read it. And in number 7 spot was Check Please. Specifically Check Please, book 2, Sticks and Scones. But this follows Bibi, who is a YouTuber. He also bakes. He's a figure skater he's on a hockey scholarship to play on a hockey team, and just the warm, cuddly vibes from there. This book had me sobbing, like, oh my god. If you want a really good queer graphic novel duology, read this. I feel like we need a 3rd edition. Please, Ngozi Ukazu? Because I can never pronounce her name. But please, 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 please. I need more Biddy and Jack. Please. Just please. And in number 6 slot is my last non-queer book of this. Is Amir and the Night Brothers by Bibi Alston. I need the sequel. Like yesterday, 3 months ago. I just need it and cannot wait. I've already pre-ordered it. I need it. Y'all can have y'all's Nevernight series. This is my new favorite middle grade series. Fuck everything else. This is everything. This is about Amari, who finds out that her brother works for a secret society called the Bureau of the Supernatural Affairs. And her brother's missing, so she joins the society to hunt him down. And that's all I'm going to tell you. Oh, and the main character, Amari, is of African descent. I highly recommend, if you love things like Nevermore, Trials of Morgan Crow, if you like Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, all the books that we grew up with, you'll love this. It's amazing. Ugh, read it. Please. And in now we're to our top 5, which all have queer romance in it. And I love it. I eat that shit up. Now I'm going to give y'all a few seconds to comment down below what you guys think my top 5 is. So pause the video, comment down below and let me know what you thought my top 5 was. And were you right? Wonder if anyone can guess the order. I will state there's an Alice Oseman and possibly 2 TJ Cloons. Hey. In number 5 slot is Conventionally Yours by Annabeth Albert. As I've already mentioned earlier on, because of Out of Character, this is a queer, geeky, they play a game called Odyssey, and this is them going to an Odyssey convention to play for a tournament. But it's a road trip, it's 2 infamous rivals, 1 epic road trip, some uncomfortable tight quarters. Why is there only 1 bed? And a journey neither will ever forget. This follows Conrad and Alden, which were arch rivals, so it's an enemies to lovers romance. Oh my god, epic fandom, gay romance, road trip. I highly recommend this. Has these cute little photos throughout it. Read it, love it. Oh my god, I will be reading this. Matter of fact, these top 5 I will probably be reading every year. Along with like Red, White, and Royal Blue. Because I feel like these books need to be read every single year. I'll probably read Out of Character as well. But I didn't want to put Out of Character too close to the first one. That's why it's a little bit lower down. But I wanted it on the list. Does that make sense? Okay. But if you're looking for something that's queer, hate to love, 1 bed trope, road trip, read it. Especially if you love geeky romances. And in coming in, number 4 spot goes to some of my favorite British boys. Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. I don't know why I did that laugh, but whatever. This follows Luke O'Donnell and Oliver Blackwood. Luke is the son of a famous rock star, and Oliver is a lawyer? Want to say he's a lawyer. Brain is not thinking right now. Well, Luke needs a boyfriend to help clean up his image, and Oliver needs a date to his sister's wedding, so he is not seen as pathetic anymore. I will definitely be reading this closer to the release date of the sequel, Husband Material. But this is fake dating, acquaintances to friends to lovers. And it's just everything I thought I needed in a book. This is by far my favorite adult romance of the year. Followed really closely by Conventionally Yours. But I love Boyfriend Material to the point where these, plus Red, White, and Royal Blue, and a couple of others, I'm going to get second copies. that I can do my own like little queer, I'm gonna do something with them. Like a shelf idea. I have like a cute idea. But I highly recommend. Read it. Love it. Just do it. If you are a huge fan of Red, White, and Royal Blue, this is where you need to go next. But the thing about fake dating is that it can feel like a lot like real dating. And that's when you get used to someone, start falling for them, and don't ever want to let them go. Also, this has a confessing love in the rain scene that all rom-com movies have. Yes! Now drum roll, please, for my top 3 books of the year. And coming in number 3 slot is The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Cloon. This literally is a middle grade for adults. It's a warm hug. It follows Linus and Arthur. Linus Baker, which is a caseworker in the department in charge of magical youth, who comes to extremely upper management, makes him go to an orphanage to check out Arthur Parnassus, and he has the orphanage of the most dangerous magical children ever, which are all fluffy little beings that all need love, especially Chauncey. Oh, Chauncey just needs a hug. But Arthur and Linus, amazing. Just read it. That's all you need to know going into this. If you have not read it, why? Do you just not love cozy comfort reads that'll make you swoon forever? Okay, you just hate me then. Read it! And I'm pretty sure everyone can guess my top 2. At least all my friends can. And in number 2's slot goes the entire series of Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. We all know Heartstopper's life. A friend of mine literally just sent me for Christmas a Heartstopper coloring book. This was my favorite of the year until I read the other thing. We'll get that in a minute. This follows Nick and Charlie. All 4 volumes follows them through becoming friends and Nick realizing he has feelings for Charlie and them coming together. And it's a cute, fluffy romance, but it also tackles important issues such as OCD, is it bulimia or anorexia? I always get those backwards. Eating disorders, depression, transphobia is discussed. Biphobia is, there's a lot that's discussed in this. And this is by far one of my favorite, I think this is my favorite series of all time now. Yes. Actually, yeah. The other one's my favorite book of all time, and I think this is my favorite series. Because you see these characters also pop up in some of her other books, and some of their friends follow suit in other books of Alice Oseman. And I just love Alice Oseman. She's brilliant for this entire world. And if you want queer, fluffy graphic novels that she writes and draws herself, do it. Like I said, Solitaire follows his sister. Radio Silence, one of his best friends is in Radio Silence. One of the characters from that has something to do with I Was Born for This, and so on and so forth. I just love the entire world of Alice Oseman. I don't know what else to say. But read it. And drum roll for my number 1 book of 2021 goes to my favorite book of all time now, Under the Whispering Door by T.J. Cloon. Yes, I know, we just had a TJ Cloon, but I can't decide between the two, so I had to have both in the top 3. But with this being my favorite series and this being my favorite standalone, I thought my favorite standalone, because it's a standalone, should stand as number 1, and a series should stand as number 2, because it's still ongoing. We get one more volume in 2022, and we're getting a TV show. But back to Under the Whispering Door. This follows Wallace and Hugo. Wallace passes away and falls for... You basically got a ghost falling in love with his ferryman. And it does a whole lot more. I was blown away by this. I think this is my favorite thing TJ Cloon has ever wrote. And we all know how I feel about the Green Creek series, which was my favorite series of all time. Got beat by Heartstopper, but oh well. Yes. I can't say any more than that, because I feel like this is one that all you need to know is a ghost falling in love with a reaper or ferryman. Going into it and read it and love it, and I've been told, like, I can feel the vibes that it's set in the same world as House in Cerulean Sea, but at the same time I feel like it's not. But just, like, look at that house. Who wouldn't want to live in this house? Which is a tea shop with a tea garden in the back. And a forest. Just, this is everything. And I'm going to put it down so I don't start crying. But I will probably reread this year to next year as well. So if I throw in a bunch of rereads throughout the year, it's because I feel like I'm going to make a stack of books that are going to be forever reread every year. Because I said so. But yeah, that was my top 21 of 2021. Did you guess any of them right? Have you read any of these? Comment down below and let me know if you've read any of them. Do your thoughts align the same as mine? I already know that Sterling hates one of the books that I was on my top 21 list. He's currently making his top 10 list, which I will have him come in a future video. Probably that one won't probably post until January. So I'm going to let him have December to decide. And then he's going to come in and he'll tell you guys his top 10 of the year. If that's something y'all want, comment down below if that's something you guys want. But yeah. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up. And if you're new, hit that subscribe. And like I said, comment down below. Tell me how well you did. Did you guess any of my spots correctly? Are there any on here that shocked you that I had on my list? I know Sterling was really shocked that 101 Dalmatians made it on my list, but oh well. But yeah, that's all I've got for you guys today. Remember, kids, always be fabulously yourself. Oh boy.